didn't have a chance to defend myself.
Right. Yeah.
So the hardest part was calling friends and people that I worked with.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
One of the things they buy for all that money, your life for a period of time.
Yeah, I'm kind of blacklisted. I haven't gotten a studio job in 15 years.
So you feel in a way that you are banned from the...
No, not in a way.
You are.
Yeah, I think.
Val Kilmer is dead. Or is he? Fans aren't just mourning the iconic actor, they're asking questions, a lot of them, because the timeline of Val Kilmer's downfall feels off. Too many strange coincidences, too many things swept under the rug, from Hollywood royalty to straight to DVD exile, to losing his voice and maybe even his life. Kilmer's story reads more like a conspiracy thriller than a career arc. So was he blacklisted, silenced, or did he uncover something he wasn't supposed to? Let's rewind, because the clues are everywhere. Before the whispers, before the rumors, Val Kilmer was the guy. Trained at Juilliard, starring in Shakespeare before most actors learned to hit their mark. He had the look, the voice, the intensity. Casting directors weren't just interested, they were obsessed. In the late 80s and early 90s, Kilmer didn't just star in hits, he defined them. Top Gun, Willow, The Doors, Tombstone, every role felt like a transformation. When he played Jim Morrison, people swore he became Morrison. When he donned the cowl in Batman Forever, he joined a Hollywood club with only a few members. Val was more than bankable, he was magnetic. But then, it stopped. 1999. That's the year it all changed. No more blockbusters, no more premieres, just low-budget films and whispers of a difficult actor. Hollywood said Kilmer was too intense, too hard to work with. Joel Schumacher, the director of Batman Forever, publicly trashed him, called him psychotic, said working with Val was bliss, only when Kilmer wasn't speaking. But here's the thing, since when has being difficult ever stopped Hollywood? Plenty of male actors are absolute nightmares on set and still win Oscars. So why was Val treated differently? In an interview years later, Kilmer didn't dodge the rumors. He confirmed them. "I'm kind of blacklisted," he said. "I haven't gotten a studio job in 15 years. Not because of box office numbers, not because he couldn't act, but because he spoke up. About what, though? That's the part that gets murky." Kilmer admitted he was outspoken. He said things that didn't fit the system. He treated acting like art, not business. And that, in Hollywood, is dangerous. If you don't play by the rules, he once said, you don't work. And for 15 years, he didn't. By 2014, things got even darker. Kilmer revealed he had throat cancer, though he'd been hiding it for years. The scarves, the raspy voice, the sudden disappearance from events. It all made sense, but the damage was done. He underwent a tracheotomy that permanently altered his speech. His voice, the very thing that made him a star, was gone. And yet, he didn't quit. Val started filming himself long before social media. Hours of footage, behind the scenes clips, home videos, set diaries. It wasn't vanity. It felt like preparation, like he knew no one would tell his story the right way, so he started doing it himself. In 2021, the Val documentary dropped, a self-produced, intimate look at his life and legacy. But it wasn't just a tribute. It felt like a warning, a man saying, here's the truth before they bury it. And that's when things got weird. Let's talk timing. Kilmer's fall from grace. It lines up exactly with the release of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, a movie about secret societies, hidden power, and elite rituals, released in 1999, the same year Kilmer vanished from the A-list. Coincidence? Not when you look around. That same era, Mel Gibson, gone. Wesley Snipes, vanished. All guys who either spoke up, pushed back, or refused to play along. Gibson once described Hollywood as a weird town where everyone goes silent when the outsider walks in. That was before his meltdown, before the industry turned on him. Even Kilmer's friendship with Tom Cruise, once solid, seemed to dissolve. Cruise's career kept soaring. Kilmer's didn't. And not because of talent, but because something changed. On paper, Kilmer and Cruise were co-stars. In Top Gun, their on-screen rivalry was electric. Maverick versus Iceman. But behind the scenes, the tension was reportedly very real. While Cruise climbed the ranks, becoming one of Hollywood's most untouchable stars, Kilmer's rise stalled. Some insiders say Cruise was unbothered by Kilmer's fall, that even distanced himself deliberately. There were whispers that Cruise's team had more influence in studios than people realized, the kind of influence that could quietly close doors. And here's where things get weird. Cruise starred in Eyes Wide Shut in 1999, the same year Kilmer's career flatlined. In the film, Cruise plays a man who stumbles into a masked elite society with disturbing rituals. It was Kubrick's last movie, and some say he died before he could finalize the cut. Coincidence? Or is that film, and the secrets behind it, somehow connected to the timing of Kilmer's exile? Eyes Wide Shut wasn't just a movie, it was a message. Kubrick spent decades exposing the systems beneath the surface, and then, right before the film dropped, he died. Not only that, 25 minutes were allegedly cut from the film, posthumously by Warner Brothers. People close to Kubrick claimed he was happy and healthy just days before he passed. The studio said he died of a heart attack. Fans say, that's too clean. Kilmer's sudden decline, Cruise's rise, and Kubrick's death, all in 1999, all around the same project. And remember, Kilmer was Batman, another masked figure who operates in secret, uncovering the rot in Gotham's elite. If Eyes Wide Shut was an R-rated warning, Kilmer's Batman might have been the PG-13 version. Did he get too close to the real-life Gotham? Val Kilmer's death was ruled pneumonia, but that's not the first time a controversial celebrity passed under suspiciously similar conditions. Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, also died of pneumonia, but the first coroner's report, it listed her death as a homicide. Then it changed. Heavy D, same story. Andre Harrell, same. All linked to Diddy. All died from conditions eerily similar to pneumonia or heart failure. Now here's where the theory spirals. Some believe these causes of death are chosen for a reason. They're hard to trace. Symptoms that could be natural or chemically induced. Was Kilmer's death truly from illness? Or was it the final act in a long campaign to silence a man who recorded everything? Around the time Kilmer was blacklisted, whispers started swirling about a private island, one allegedly used by the elite for parties, meetings, and darker things. This island, connected to powerful billionaires, politicians, and yes, Hollywood names, became public years later, but insiders say everyone knew long before. And while no direct link to Kilmer has ever surfaced, some believe he stumbled onto something. Maybe he was invited, maybe he declined, maybe he recorded something he wasn't supposed to. Remember, Kilmer was always filming, always documenting. He even admitted in his documentary that he had thousands of hours of unseen footage. Did any of it show things that were never meant to go public? If so, what happened to those tapes? In Hollywood, silence is currency. You stay quiet, you get rewarded. You speak up, you disappear. Kilmer admitted he was vocal, that he questioned things, that he didn't play the game. And just like that, the scripts stopped coming. The agents stopped calling. He was out. Wesley Snipes got tax fraud. Mel Gibson got labeled dangerous. Kilmer got called difficult. Is it really that simple? Or is that just the public version of the story? Because the real pattern is this. The ones who speak out vanish slowly, quietly, and by the time anyone notices, it's already too late. Now here's where it gets downright creepy. When Top Gun Maverick came out, some fans swore they remembered hearing that Kilmer had died. They remembered obituaries, tributes, a farewell, but now he was suddenly back? It wasn't just a few people, it was thousands. Mandela effect, glitch in the Matrix, or was something being covered up? Some even suggested his Maverick appearance was a deepfake or old footage filmed long ago, used posthumously. And now that he's actually passed, people are saying, wait, didn't he already die? What's going on here? Let's talk money. Kilmer's movies earned over $3.7 billion, but at the time of his death, his net worth was only $10 million. Where did it go? According to rumors, he spent millions on holistic treatments, spiritual retreats, and self-funded projects. But there's more. Allegedly, Kilmer left behind a will with a trap door, a setup to keep his ex-wife Joanne Whalley from touching his children's inheritance. Monthly caps, delays, legal blocks. He even moved $23 million into Bitcoin. Not accessible, not traceable, not touchable. Why all the caution? What was he protecting? Here's something most people missed. Kilmer never stopped filming. Even as his health deteriorated, he kept documenting. He created hours of monologues using a voice box. He collaborated with AI voice software to recreate his original speech. He even worked with his kids to preserve his legacy. But some sources say there's more, that Val had footage he never released. Footage from behind the scenes of Hollywood, from private parties, from meetings. And according to internet rumor, that footage is locked behind legal conditions. It could only be released released in the event of foul play, or specific triggers in his estate. That's the part no one wants to talk about. Just before he died, Kilmer posted a photo of a Batman mask, a gift from artist David Cho. Some say it was nostalgia, others say it was a message, one last symbol from the man who used to wear the mask, who once stood in the shadows, just like the character he played. And when you line it up with Eyes Wide Shut, with secret societies, with masks hiding the truth behind fame, it gets harder to write off as coincidence. Val's Batman wasn't just a character, he was a metaphor, the masked man who saw too much and paid the price for it. So was Val Kilmer just another actor who lost his voice and career? Or was he the canary in the coal mine, silenced before he could sing too loudly? Was his death peaceful or calculated? Because in the shadows of the Hollywood machine, every star that burns too bright risks being extinguished. Quietly, permanently, but some stars don't go out. They flicker in the dark, still sparking questions. And with Kilmer, the questions are just beginning.